Good afternoon, and welcome to the 5th FSTS graduation of 2020. Today we celebrate the graduation of 13 frontline supervisors that have become true leaders and will be the future of UPS, and I couldn't be more proud. This was a fun class, and despite the small number of supervisors, they opened up like the bigger classes we've had and made the class much more enjoyable. This group also had some fun team names. Just a couple were FedEx's Mortal Enemies, the Metal Chinchillas, and 404 Error, team name not found. Over the last 2 weeks, we learned the importance of listening and how important it is to listen to the full story before trying to respond. The importance of relationships in the operation and how critical it is to know your employees to build a bond with each and every one of them. How diversity and inclusion can impact the workplace and create a team that is completely unstoppable. Labor talked about the importance of being consistent and how consistency is so much better than being lenient. Daily we discussed UPS policies and UPS legacies and how we felt about each of them and how we could incorporate each of those in our work area. We talked about the future opportunities for advancement and how the push-pull concept can make dreams come true and how branching out and networking can open doors for everybody. Now you guys have the important task of taking what you've learned and applying those skills to your work area. This is where the rubber meets the road. I hope you know, as facilitators, Laura and I will always be available to assist you in any way that we can. With the new constraints that COVID has created, I must apologize for your personal management team not being here and present in the room. I can assure you that they are willing to assist you in any way also. Speaking of your management teams, I would also like to thank them for their participation in the class and remaining flexible with the rearranging and the jumping around of presentations that we do on a daily basis. I would also like to thank Jeff Semenik and Norm Seawright for their participation today as well. I also want to thank the person who keeps everything straight in the classroom and makes things look so seamless, even though they're constantly changing, and that's Laura Morris. Laura?
Thank you. All right. Like he said, over the past 2 weeks, we've done a lot. We've had a lot of presentations, you've listened a lot, but hopefully we've had a lot of fun. We played games, we've got to know one another. There's been a lot of teamwork and team building. And so, with that, I'll have a quote for you. Great leaders don't set out to be a leader. They set out to make a difference. It's never about the role, it's always about the goal. So I think that's important to remember. Hopefully over the last 2 weeks, we've taught you that relationships are the most important thing, that it's about your people, it's about taking care of your people and never taking advantage of them. Continue to build those relationships. Like James said, what you do from here is up to you. We've taught you things, we've given you tools and resources to use, but ultimately what you do with it is up to you. So now it's time to go out, use the things that you've learned, and be those great leaders that we all know that you can be. So with that, we're going to go ahead and start graduation. First, we have Camryn. She got a perfect PCM and a perfect test score. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. My name is Camryn Pryor. I'm from the one-day training department, and one of the many things that I learned from our FSTS class is the value of peers and connections. I certainly wouldn't have expected to become so close with so many people in just 2 short weeks, but I greatly value the relationships that I've made and the different perspectives that this has offered. Thank you.
Michael Hill. He got a perfect test score, and he was on the winning competition team, the UPS Brown Nosers. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. My name is Michael Hill. I work next day in Wing C Ramp. One of the many things I've taken from FSTS is the importance of our workplace culture. We have to work together to emphasize the necessity of being safe and wanting to be successful so that it becomes the normal for our employees and ourselves to strive for those expectations 100% of the time. We must demonstrate that we want the best for our employees, and they will in turn help us reach our best through safety and success. Thank you.
Charles.
Afternoon, I'm Charles Juras. I'm from the 911 ramp night side. Throughout this class, I've seen that we are a family here. From our CEO down to our package handlers, from our maintenance crews to our pilots. We're just a big family, and we have to push each other every day to get better. Because without each other, we would not be here where we are today. Thank you.
Jennifer, she got a perfect PCM. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. My name is Jenn Prather. I work at Wing D, Posse 4 South. The thing that I've learned the most from the FSTS class is the knowledge of the additional areas that we all work together and form a unity with. The way for me to help improve and understand and discipline and communicate with my staff to become a better leader. Thank you.
Angelica, she got a perfect PCM, a perfect test score, and was on the winning competition team. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. My name is Angelica McBride. I work next day in the World Port Freight Facility. Among the many things I learned in FSTS, my biggest takeaway was the distinction between a manager and a leader. A manager simply oversees an operation, whereas a leader strives to enact change. Leadership is the ability to influence, motivate, and enable others to organizational success. I can apply this in my work area by encouraging my employees to work together and help each other out whenever possible. Collectively, we are UPS, and we must all move together to contribute to the success story of our company.
Cole, he was one of the most improved in class. He got a perfect test score, and he was on the winning competition team. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. My name is Cole Rose. I work in one-day ramp training. One of the many things I took away from FSTS was the value of teamwork. Teamwork brings together co-workers with diverse experiences, skills, and work histories, creating fertile ground for brainstorming and creative problem solving. When employees work alone, there's always the risk they'll fall into established routines, stagnating rather than moving forward. Helen Keller once said, "Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much."
Mac, he also got most improved, and he got a perfect test score. Congratulations.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mack O'Hern. I work in 2-day, Building 1. And before I get started, whenever I was told that I was going to FSTS, I was a little worried about it. I don't necessarily like change, but as soon as I got here, first couple days were a little rocky. But once we all started to open up, get to know each other, we became a great group of people. Outgoing, fun. And then the 2 instructors, James and Laura, I appreciate you all for being so great, teaching us everything we need to know. And for one of the many things that I learned in FSTS was all the benefits, not including pay. So for myself, it would be the 401k, and after FSTS, I went ahead and signed up for it so I could better prepare myself for retirement. As for my employees, it is the Resource for Living, the Business Resource Group, and health insurance. So when I get back to the operation, I will tell my team about all of this stuff that they might not know about and where to find it. Thank you all.
Matthew, you had a perfect PCM.
Good afternoon. My name is Mathew Wyatt. I work on the 1-day Wing A ramp. One of the many things I took from this FSTS class was how to be a leader. And I plan on bringing that back to my area and leading my team every day by showing them that, for one, I can be a leader by going above and beyond in my own work every day. Thank you.
Jacob had a perfect PCM. He had a perfect test score. He was one of the ones that was dressed for success, won the Jim Casey Legacy Award, and was actually the Knowledge Bee winner. Congratulations, Jacob.
Good afternoon. My name is Jacob Brooks. I work in the Wing A's 2-day outbound. One of the things that I want to touch on from my time in FSTS is all of the knowledge that we got for being a better leader for our people. We were taught, and it was instilled upon us, what gets people going the most, and more so of how UPS expects us to carry ourselves in order to set the precedent for not only our peers, but all of those around us. You all, James and Lori, you all did an absolutely wonderful job of running the class, and I would like to thank all of my classmates for making this one of the most memorable moments in UPS during my time here. So thank you all.
Michael had a perfect test score.
My name is Michael Ayers. I work in the 1-day small sort. From FSTS, the most important thing that I've learned is communication, and it ranges from body language to simply asking a question. When I head back into the operation, I plan on using this information that I've gained by asking my employees more questions and carrying myself in a more professional manner. Thank you.
Jason?
My name is Jason Hoefflin. I work on 1-day ramp 911, and one of the biggest things that I took away from this class has been how to do proper documentation and use that to coach my employees and how to better themselves so that we can make a better work group and help improve the company as much as we can, help them move up as much as we have. Thank you.
Tyler had a perfect test score.
Good afternoon. My name is Tyler Adams from the 1-day ramp 6. One of the main things I took from this class that will make me a better frontline soup is the ability to speak to people who are not my everyday peers. I have, for the most part, overcome my fears and anxieties of public speaking. Being forced to stand up to speak, being prompted to speak louder, and being made to do presentations are many of the things that we were made to do in FSTS. This will help me further advance my speaking skills and hopefully help further my career. Thank you.
Corey?
Hello, my name is Corey Messer. I'm from the 2-day grade lane building 4 gold black. One of the many things that I've taken away from the FSTS class is how to motivate people and how to build the teamwork in my area and take my least best employee and elevate them. If I can find what they are passionate about and lift them up, it will essentially lift my entire team up. So therefore, if I can do that, my entire group will succeed and we can have good times during the best of days and the worst of days. Thank you.
All right, congratulations to each one of you and welcome to the UPS management team. To close today, we're going to have our legacy speaker. Each class chooses a person that they feel is a leader in the class, someone that they want to represent them today and give the final legacy. So the winner from this class was from the 2-day Wing A, Jacob Brooks.
People judge us by our visual and mental impressions that they get. If those impressions are to be favorable, we must have the appearance of doing a good job. Not only does this apply to the physical appearance of plants, cars, and people, but it also applies to the impressions created by the work that we do and how we do it. When a store executive sees one of our cars with dented fenders or a scratched body or a car in need of paint, what kind of impression does that create? And whose fault is it? Is it the driver's? No. It's the fault of someone higher up for failing to have an inspection system that will detect such effects immediately and have them corrected before the car goes out on the road.
When our customers see on the road a car that was not washed before it went out, what kind of impression does that create? And whose fault is that? Is it the car washers? No. It's the fault of someone higher up for failing to employ enough car washers to clean and service as many cars as are to be used each day. When a visitor or even one of our own employees sees a repair shop with stocks of supplies in disorder and tools, discarded parts, and rubbish scattered all around, grease here and there, does that create the impression of quality and efficiency? And whose fault is that? Is it the mechanics? Again, no. It's the fault of someone higher up for failing to insist upon tidy and clean housekeeping in every single part of the plant. When a driver does not have the complete uniform, or wears an odd sweater or overcoat, when his uniform is soiled or his shirt has been with a whole week without washing, what kind of impression does that create when making pickups or deliveries? And whose fault is that? Is it the driver's? No. It's the fault of someone higher up for failing to insist that proper appearance be a requirement of a day's work. The appearance required of plants, cars, and people is not what some plant manager tolerates as good enough. It is a standard maintained at all times at so high of a level that no store nor any of our associates can find any fault with it. Some might ask, how much extra will all of that cost? The answer is nothing. Not only drivers, but workers and all other departments will do a better quality of work and more of it when we show them through a superior standard of appearance that slovenly work simply not be tolerated. In short, if we demand high standards in the things that we can see, the things before our very eyes, our people will do an improved job with respect to the things beyond our eyesight and beyond direct supervision. And while doing better work, our people will have more respect for themselves, more respect for their jobs, more respect for their supervisors, and in turn, more respect for their company. Tim Duncan once said, "I am the leader of this team, so it starts with me, and I understand that." As frontline members of management, we are expected to manage and lead our individuals every single day, not just to the best of our ability, but to the precedents that UPS has set before us. The passage I spoke of, maintaining such high standards that our people begin to have more pride not only in their work, but also in themselves. For this to take place, we have to take it upon ourselves to be above the standards of things that they typically see. For starters, we have to present them with an image of supervision that they can be proud of every single day. On top of that, the energy that we bring to them every single day should be infectious. We should not chop our people down when they do something wrong, but rather coach them so that we get their best while showing them the importance of the act, why we do it, and the correct way that it should be done. Once this is finished, it is then our job to hold them accountable to that standard day in and day out, while setting goals for them to continue to strive for and achieve, further building a sense of accomplishment, self-respect, and respect for the place that they work. For the greatest leader is not necessarily the one doing the greatest things, but it's the one who gets their people to do the greatest things. Thank you all.
All right, folks, that concludes graduation. Congratulations to you guys. Give yourself a last round of applause. Graduation is now over. Thank you, guys.